9,
Sequence initiated.
7, 6, 5,
Downloading.
4, 3, 2, 1.
All phases complete.
You're listening to The Loan Signing Hustle with Brett Reitler, where I dive into marketing, branding, tips, and the resources you need to becoming a successful loan signing agent. Take back control over your life and live in the freedom that you deserve. This is a hustle you won't want to miss. This is episode 2, Signing Services versus Going Direct. Before I dive into this podcast, please click the subscribe button so you can get notified when I have new episodes, and there's also a link to my Venmo username and a place where you can even buy me a coffee. So I have enough time and energy to keep producing these podcasts for my fellow loan signing agents out there. Without further ado, let's jump into this episode on signing services and going direct. What is a signing service? Well, a signing service is a platform that receives business from their network of title companies to contract out to notary signing agents in their portfolio. They are the ones that go out there, do the marketing, they meet up with their own network of title companies and earn the business for you. Now, they do make a portion of the loan signing fee that is associated with the closing that you are presenting. Opposed to when you go direct, meaning you are putting in the footwork, marketing, and expanding your business directly to title companies locally. So when you are out there generating your own business and getting it directly, you keep 100% of the fee. And now that fee can range from $100 to $225, which I've seen in the market here in Denver, Colorado. Now, every market is different. I have learned that some signing agents in California are charging up to $250 per closing, maybe because I think their notarization fee is $15 per document. Don't mark my word, I genuinely don't know that answer. But I think that's why their loan signing fees are higher, just because their notarization fees aren't $5 as they are here in Colorado. When you guys are going direct, you get to keep that fee 100%. Now, I've learned that certain title offices have their own set of fees, which you happily accommodate when you are earning their business. But that is a difference between a signing service and going direct. Now, I absolutely love signing services because when I have an open window, like on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, there's an open window between 3 and 5 p.m. that I have nothing scheduled, and I have a signing service that'll reach out to me and say, hey, are you available at 3:30 to do this appointment? And it kind of fills the gap. So it's good to definitely have both in your business. So even when you scale it to just going direct, you have the opportunity to gain more business when you don't have any time slots that are taken by your direct clients. If you are starting off your loan signing career, I highly recommend that you start off only with signing services until you feel comfortable enough to present a closing in office and professionally show your escrow officers that you know what you're doing. When you are with the signing service, most of them don't require as much experience as, the title offices do. And you're there face to face with your clients. So it's a little more intimidating if you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to earn their business heavily. There are certain signing services, I believe, like Amrock or BankServe, that do require more experience or X amount of signings until they bring you onto their platform. But most of them will bring you on as a fresh agent, so you have the opportunity to prove yourself and really start your loan signing career. So I love signing services for that, and it is the route you should go if you are starting off, you guys, 100%. Now, a little bit about how signing services get their business. So in the closing process, it's going to start with the lender. The lender is going to get the docs and send them to Escrow. And then Escrow is going to reach out to their client, which is a signing service, and send them the docs as soon as they receive them. Right when the signing service receives the docs from Escrow, then they let the notary know that the docs are ready and you are good to go to print these for your closing. Now, the lender prepares the loan documents, so sometimes you could be waiting on docs 30 minutes before an appointment and you might not have them, but that's not the signing service's fault. Sometimes there are things going up in the lending area where they are still waiting on funding conditions or certain things from the borrower, and they do not have finalized docs. So don't get mad at your signing service for not having the docs to you 7 days before the closing. And sometimes you're going to get them very close to the closing, but that's what you're going to have to expect with working with signing services, because sometimes those things are just out of their control. Now, they're not holding the docs from you. They aren't trying to make your life difficult. When they get the docs, they will give them to you immediately. And just trust that. And if you aren't sure, communicate with them. Be like, hey, I have an appointment in 30 minutes and I haven't received docs and it takes me 25 minutes to get there. Can you please give me an update so I can let the borrower know what's going on? Always, when working with the signing service, be in touch with the borrower. If you are going to be late 10 minutes, call them 15 minutes prior. Be like, hey, I'm on the way. There's an accident. There is traffic. I'm going to be 10 minutes late. And most of the time they're like, thank you so much for letting me know. And it makes your life so much easier. And it keeps a good relationship with you and the signing service so you can earn more business. Communication is key. If you have questions at the table, make sure that you call up either the loan officer. If they don't pick up, then Escrow can usually answer questions for you. But do not hesitate if you don't know something to reach out and double check. There will be times that there is trustee verbiage on certain documents, and I always call up my escrow officers or the title company or my signing service and be like, hey, there's trustee verbiage on this document. It's with a lender that I'm not used to. How do they want these documents signed? And most of the time, they will tell you just have them sign as their name appears, because if there's any issues, they can always add trustee verbiage through the limited power of attorney that you sign, the borrower signs in the documents, and it's easier to add verbiage than take it away, if that makes sense. Being flexible with direct customers and signing services will maximize your earnings and business. Things change on the drop of a dime in this business always. You might get a call from the escrow officer or signing service, hey, this appointment canceled 30 minutes before. And instead of, causing a scene and saying, well, I'm going to charge you a fee, yada, 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 it is best to just accept it. Understand that it most likely wasn't their fault. It had to do something with usually the lender and funding conditions, and the borrower didn't meet a certain criteria by, the closing date and time, and they had to cancel the appointment, or the borrower just couldn't make it in that time slot and they will reschedule you. So just be understanding as things do change and things do happen. So you just got to roll with the punches, and the more you roll with them, that will make them want to call you up more, because they already deal with other notary signing agents out there that, do get upset when an appointment's canceled last minute, or they printed docs and showed up to the appointment and the borrower isn't there, which has happened to me only once. But to give you an idea, I had a closing yesterday. I got to the appointment and the borrower, it was a husband and wife. The wife pulls out her identification and it was expired in 2019. Yeah, 2019. My mind was blown how they got this far in the process, because usually they've got to send in copies to their lender, and you can't take an expired identification more than a year ago here in the state of Colorado for verifying their identity. So the appointment got canceled. I had printed all these documents, drove to the appointment, and luckily the signing service that scheduled me this one, they paid me, a fee for printing and traveling, which was close to the amount that the signing was actually being paid out. So I was just understanding, let the borrowers know the situation. I got the lender on the phone, and then canceled the appointment and just left from there. So things happen, and you're gonna have to be very flexible. And when you are, you will maximize your earnings and business. Another tip with signing services is when you are slow one day and you don't have closings, give them a call. And mind you, you're going to be signing up with over 100 signing services in the beginning to really earn your business, to get the ball rolling and make sure that you are receiving text messages and emails consistently, so you can really grow this business and learn how to present loan documents in an efficient and knowledgeable way. And the only way you'll do that is by signing up with as many services as you can. You can Google nationwide signing services and nationwide loan signing services, and you'll see them pop up left and right. So just go onto their portals and upload your information and get on board. And after that, you can then create a list of the names of the signing services that you've signed up for, their numbers right next to each other. I like to create an Excel sheet of all of the signing services that I signed up for, so I can keep track of them. And when you're slow, you can call them up and tell them why you should get the job for the next closing in your area, and pitch yourself. Make yourself present to the signing service, and don't be afraid to do so, because they will have business for you, and most notaries out there are not reaching out to them and introducing themselves, telling them, hey, I have never had any errors. I never miss dates, signatures, initials. I have great customer service with borrowers, so your clients will be happy. I scan back documents immediately after the closing because I have a portable scanner. I drop off docs right after the appointment as well. So you have them scanned in and dropped off so they're made to FedEx in time to ship out that day. That will set you apart and gain you more business than you know. And that's just a little tip and trick that you should utilize on your days that you are slow. And you have to understand that every single escrow officer, realtor, loan processor, signing service, they need you to complete the file. And you need to let them know why you are the best one to fill that job. When you're an educated and knowledgeable loan signing agent, you will earn more business. And I personally have to give all the credit for me learning these docs and how to present and how to market myself to these companies. I have to give credit to the loan signing system by Mark Wills because he taught me everything I needed to know to get my business up and going. He also has a list of over, I think it's 300 signing services that you can sign up with on his course. So you don't have to do the footwork of Googling and finding them yourself. He gives them to you. So Mark Wills, love him. And I don't know any other courses, but I'm sure there's some great ones out there. He is the only one I can speak for. So I definitely recommend checking out that course if you are new to the business. And even if you're seasoned, it's a great course to kind of sharpen your skills and learn more. You want to be the answer to their problem. So being the answer to a signing services problem with notaries not making drop-off, notaries missing signatures, dates, or initials, let them know that you're their answer and they will put you on their preferred notary list. And that's how you can gain more business and become a successful notary loan signing agent. Now, I want to talk about fees with your signing service and when it's kind of a good time to possibly negotiate those fees. I have seen fees be offered from $60 to $115 with signing services. Now, you'll notice on the closing disclosure, it will tell you the fee that the signing service is charging. And out of my experience, it's always been very reasonable for the signing service to pay the notary half of what their fee is. So if you're at least getting half for that closing, if it's $150 and you're getting $75 for that closing, you know, you should be pretty happy because they are doing all the footwork for you. And if you're not happy, then that's when you know you need to start going direct. But if you see on the closing disclosure that, you know, they are charging $200 and only paying you $60, that is when, and mind you, this isn't when you're new to their signing service either. Let's say you've done over 25 closings for them. You have no errors. They know your work ethic. You're always on time to your appointments. And you see that they're charging $200 on the closing statement, closing disclosure, and you're receiving $60. Then that's when I feel like it's really reasonable to call them up and speak to their closing department and be like, hey, I'm a notary signing agent here in Denver. I noticed on the closing disclosure that the fee was $200 to you guys, and I only received 60 of that. I've been a great signing agent for you guys. Would you mind if I requested $25 more on this closing? And that would be greatly appreciated. Most of the time, they're like, yes, no problem. We can do that. If you have any other closings in the future that you are being assigned for $60, feel free to reach out to us and we'll adjust that payment for you. I personally have had that with signing services I've worked with. They are more than happy to adjust the fee. That kind of goes over signing services and a little bit about them and how they operate, how they work, how you can gain more business with them, and how you can eventually negotiate fees and possibly get paid a little more than what you were used to starting off with them. Now I want to talk about going direct. Going direct is meaning you are walking into title offices locally, whether that is Fidelity, Guardian Title, First Integrity Title, First American. There is so many. You will just have to Google escrow title offices near you, and you will see everyone that's available. Going direct is going to be your most profitable journey in your notary loan signing business. Now, I'm going to kind of tell you my journey when I started going direct, and I honestly only work direct right now unless I have a window that's open and I receive a text or a call from a signing service and I'm available during that time slot. Then obviously I will take that closing with the signing service. But after I had gotten a good, I would say 25 or 30 closings under my belt, I started to go direct. Now, before I went direct, I wanted to be as professional as possible. So that is when I created my business LLC, which is Signatures USA. And the bigger picture of that is to have it as a signing service for these local title companies that I work with now. So in the future, I can be a signing service that expands nationwide. So for me, that's my personal goal. You don't have to have that goal, but that was kind of the beginning of my path. So I got my LLC created. I then had business cards made and marketing material made. When you are walking in and introducing yourself to these escrow officers and senior escrow officers that have been doing this for sometimes 20 years, they want someone that is professional, and that is what's going to set you aside. So when you're walking in there with pretty much no marketing material, no information about your past, and no information on why they should choose you, they're most likely not going to call you. And they don't even have your information to call you because you didn't bring in a business card. So at the very least, have business cards. On my business card, I love to have my photo on it. Get a professional photo of yourself so you can look professional. And when they're looking through their Rolodex of cards, oh, who should I call? Hey, there's that guy, Brett. He has a very professional look to him. I remember his face. He brought me voodoo donuts that one time. I'm going to give him a call and try him out. So having a photo on your business cards is huge. And I also bring in kind of a little flyer. It's a flyer with a photo on it telling about my notary loan signing business, how much experience I've had, how many closings I've done, the type of printer and software that I carry. So they know that I can do closings on the spot and last minute, and I can print docs wherever I'm at. Really building yourself up and setting yourself apart will be the best thing you can do gaining their business. Now, the first day that I went direct, I had a list of about 7 title companies that I wanted to go into, and I knew I had to set myself apart. So we have Voodoo Donuts here in Denver, Colorado, and this is going to be a little tip and trick that other locals might take, but hey, I hope it gains you more business because I'm here to help you out. Voodoo, in the beginning of the morning, they sell their day-old donuts for $10, and they do them by the bucket. So for $10, I brought in 7 offices, Voodoo Donuts, and they were astounded. They're like, oh my gosh, these aren't just regular donuts, they're Voodoo Donuts. These are my favorite, and we don't get to have them that often because they're kind of expensive. But the little trick is you get them for cheaper because they have to get rid of them when they're only a day old. So when I went in, I was so nervous. I was having so much anxiety and a panic attack in the car before. I'd never done this. I was still kind of new to the industry and didn't know as much information as I know now. And I just took a few deep breaths. I got outside of my head because when you talk to yourself inside your mind, you work yourself up too much. And sometimes it's the deciding factor of whether you're not going to walk out your door, walk into these offices, introduce yourself, and tell them why you should be earning their business. So just take a few deep breaths, have all of your marketing material available, whatever treats you want to bring into them. Escrow officers love it. They love the gifts and treats, Starbucks gift cards, whatever you want to bring, they will be more than happy to receive it. And you will stand out because you aren't just walking in, handing them a business card and leaving. Now, when I go into these offices, I go up to the front desk and be like, hey, I'm a notary signing agent and I'm here to meet with the branch manager or possibly an available escrow officer. I just want to drop these off and introduce myself really quick. And 9 times out of 10, for me, they just said, okay, well, let me see who's available. And I would get in to meet them face to face. And that day, I gained 2 out of the 7 clients. Every escrow office has a different procedure for bringing on agents. They have a notary network that has to pass certain requirements. Fidelity here in Colorado, you have to have 100,000 E&O insurance. And for Canyon Title, which I just gained them as a new client as a vendor, they require 250,000 errors and omissions insurance. So if you don't have these things, be willing to upgrade and spend the extra $100 to be a part of their notary network, because that $100 is, one, it's going to secure you if you get into a bigger amount of errors or omissions that you might have on a closing. So you will be safe and insured, which is always good. But you will also, that $100 that you spent is going to gain you $100 times, who knows, a lot of money if it's throughout the full year with that client. Most likely they will bring in thousands to your business. So understand that every title office has a different requirement to being a part of their notary network. Some require you to have over 2 years of experience. Some require you to have 1, or if you are able to talk yourself up and be professional and show them that you are the one that they need, they will surpass all of that for you. So sometimes the requirements go out the door. Going direct is definitely the best way to go in this business because you can be more profitable. And I think that's where it really divides the line of making six figures. Although I have seen notary signing agents make 6+ figures on signing services alone. I personally don't know how that's done because that is mind-blowing, but I guess if you can really create a phenomenal relationship with a signing service that is doing a lot of business in your city, anything is possible. But if you're wanting to go the six-figure route or even, making close to six figures, going direct is going to be your best bet and most viable way for reaching that goal. Now, I have learned that in order for me to reach those points, I needed to have multiple escrow offices. I have heard from certain loan signing agents that they've only needed 1 or 2 offices to reach those goals in other states. But for me, I have needed to have multiple clients and title offices to be breaking those financial goals. So you guys, go out there. Now you know the differences between signing services and going direct. Keep believing in yourself. Have the strength to know that you are an educated loan signing agent and you are the best out there in your city. So never give up. Don't get discouraged. When you feel discouraged, just know you've got to keep marketing. You've got to keep getting yourself out there. And when you have downtime, study, 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 and you will become successful. Everyone in the industry is just another person. Connect with them. We are all human beings. Be educated, be flexible, and remember to always just be you. This is the end of episode 2. Thank you guys for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to be updated on newly released podcasts. If you have a question or you would like to be on an episode with me, send an email to info@signaturesusa.com. Until next time, this is the Loan Signing Hustle.